afternoon, everybody, and a very warm welcome to our Light Up a Life service. I've been a trustee at Bury Hospice for 3 years. I wanted to give back to the hospice after experiencing the incredible support myself and my family received when my mum was cared for here. Light Up a Life is a pivotal moment in the hospice calendar. At this very special time of year, we come together to remember, with family and friends, those we love and miss and the joy they brought to our lives. Whilst this year we can't physically get together, Light Up a Life is every bit as special as we've gone virtual, which means that we can reach out to so many more people safely in the comfort of their own homes. We are so grateful to everyone who has contributed to this year's service and to Bury Grammar School for co-hosting the event with us. This year has been a difficult one for everyone, and our hospice motto, in the community, for the community and about the community, is more relevant than ever. As a hospice, we have been overwhelmed by the love we have experienced throughout this year. This afternoon, as we cherish the memories of those we love, you will hear moving patient stories, poems, and messages from figures within our community. Traditionally, our Light Up a Life service has featured a Christmas tree, and when the lights are switched on, this is the cue for a moment of remembrance as we light our candles together. Please have your candle ready, as we will be inviting you to light yours with us in a few moments. Our wish for you this afternoon is that you are filled with the warmth of the very special times you share together with your loved ones. And may love and light always find you and wrap you in its warmth and hope. I'd like you now to meet Chris Green, who is our bereavement counsellor.
Hi, I'm Chris Green. Whilst the past few months have thrown up their challenges, we have all stayed connected across our communities through the power of IT. This year will feel harder than ever for many people, so therefore it is so important that we stay connected. The lighting of the candles is an especially poignant part of our Light Up a Life service and marks the moment where we stop and take time to remember our loved one. The lights on our tree, both inside and outside the hospice, will continue to shine brightly throughout the festive season as a symbol of our love and remind us of the special people we miss so much. Remember, we are here for you. Please join me in lighting your candle, and for the next few minutes we will be listening to Katie Geeling and Tom Bowes performing Bring Him Home.
As 2020 comes to a close, we reflect on what a year it's been. A pandemic ripped across the globe like nothing we've ever seen. People scrambled to supermarkets, hauliers worked hard to supply. We watched the news in fear. Hundreds of people were starting to die. Schools closed their doors, workplaces shut. Many things changed by the week. We shielded our vulnerable from danger as the pandemic came to a peak. Families unable to see one another, loved ones unable to hug. Medical staff worked their hardest to fight this deadly bug. But in all the chaos and fear, love and kindness started to bloom. Families became even closer. Get-togethers were held on Zoom. Food and supplies delivered to the elderly, a weekly clap for those that care. Rainbows painted in windows, love for each other spread everywhere. And in the community of Bury stood the hospice, doors ajar. Despite all their fears and their worries, staff would travel in from afar. To make sure they were there in a time of need, they worked hard day and night every week to care for patients and families, to tend to the vulnerable, the sick and the weak. They did this quite simply because of the passion they have. They love the job that they do. You can ask any one of the staff there, they will tell you it is true. And the community rallied around them as the charity shops had to close. Many went above and beyond to ensure donations came through the doors. Some shaved their heads, some danced, some ran. The community were simply quite fab. Others donated iPads so patients could speak to their children, their mums and their dads. Without the community, our doors could have closed. We gave to them and they gave to us. All here for one another in a time of need, the spirit of community so true. Although the year has been incredibly difficult, it has taught us to care for all. As a close-knit community, we all stand together. The virus will never make us fall. We thank every one of you for all that you've done. Your love and kindness made us thrive. You supported us to continue to do what we do. You helped Bury Hospice survive.
when we walked in fields of gold.
As Mayor of Bury, I'm delighted to be able to support Bury Hospice's Light Up a Life season, and this year's service is even more poignant than ever as we come together to reflect and remember the last year. Bury greatly values our local hospice and the services it provides. We know this has been a difficult year for everyone across the 6 townships of Bury and for our local organisations such as the hospice. However, through the Mayor of Bury's involvement in this Light Up a Life service, it demonstrates the Mayor's commitment and support of our hospice. A priority for my mayoral year is to support volunteering, and I would urge anyone who has time to consider volunteering for Bury Hospice, as they rely on this gifting kind time across their services. We need our hospice to continue, and so thank you to all who are participating in this service. Please consider donating to the Light Up a Life donation appeal. Every penny really does make a difference to help our hospice. For those who are remembering a loved one during this service, I hope you are able to find peace and consolation. I'd like to introduce Likat Ali, who is chair of Bury's Multi-Faith Forum, who will be talking about the overwhelming love and compassion that has swept through Bury during these difficult times.
On behalf of Bury Multi-Faith Partnership, I am honoured to have been asked to contribute to this important service of remembrance for the communities of the borough of Bury. The pandemic has been difficult for all of us across Bury and the 6 townships, but Bury has a strong community spirit. Across the borough, communities have demonstrated resilience, fortitude, and the ability to help one another through the pandemic. Throughout, there has been shown a deep love and respect for one another across the different faiths as we look after one another through this strange and challenging period. A community coming together to support one another, to help one another, to care for one another. No more has this been demonstrated than through the support that has been shown from our communities to our local hospice, Bury Hospice. It has been heartening to see the community will to give to this important cause in the face of its adversity, the community motivation to volunteer to get hospice back to normality, and the community engagement that says we back our hospice as we will fundraise or take part in fundraising activity. So through this Light Up a Life service, Bury Hospice is acknowledging all the wonderful community support and, more important, remembering those loved ones within our community and celebrating their lives.
Japanese gardens are really special because my mum's room looked over it, so over the time that we spent here, we spent a lot of time looking out on the garden that was really peaceful and just kept us going really because it was so beautiful. I love a Japanese garden generally, so it was very, very special to us. I'm sharing my story because when I drove past the hospice at other times, I couldn't even look at the place. I was so scared of what it represented. But when we needed it, when Mum got poorly and she had to come here, as soon as we walked in, it was just like so peaceful and calm, and we were terrified, scared, of what was going to happen. And Beth came out and made us feel really at ease, and she looked after Mum, and she was just so lovely. It was just so peaceful, very strangely positive place, which is a strange thing to say for what it is, but it was. We said that a lot. It was quite positive. It's just a beautiful place, and if it helps somebody else not be scared like I was and agree to come here because it's the best for them, because my mum deserved the best treatment she could possibly have, and this was it as far as I was concerned. She couldn't have got any better treatment. I can't believe that it's charity run and it costs so much to run a day. It costs thousands of pounds. The hospice needs us as much as we need them, because it's just all based on charity mainly. There's not a lot of funding out there, and it's so important for the town to have somewhere like this that can look after your loved ones when they need it. It's really important. We were very lucky to get Mum in here, and I'm so grateful. I can never say how grateful I am for the treatment she received, because she needed to be comfortable, and they made her comfortable, and they made her calm and peaceful, and that's all we could have asked for.
Sound of hope, a sound of peace, a sound that celebrates and speaks what we believe, a sound of love, a sound so strong. It's amazing what is given when we share a song. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice, why we stand as one in harmony. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice. Take my hand and sing with me. To the soul, and the heart, bring together lives that have been torn apart. Share the joy, find a friend. It's a never-ending gift that circles back again. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice, why we stand as one in harmony. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice. Take my hand and sing with me. Music builds a bridge, it can tear down the wall. Music is a language that can speak to one and all. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice, why we stand as one in harmony. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice. Take my hand and sing with me. This is why we
On behalf of Bury Grammar School, we're delighted to have been asked to contribute to this very important moment in Bury Hospice's annual calendar. Originally, the plan was for the entire event to have been held here within the Roger Kay Assembly Hall. Then we were considering just holding the event with a reduced audience. We've been on a journey adapting around government restrictions, but here we are now and thrilled to still have an involvement and to have been able to host this year's Light Up a Life event.
This is because Bury Hospice is the charity of the year for Bury Grammar Schools. We are delighted with how the partnership has developed between the hospice and the grammar schools. Our pupils have loved fundraising for the hospice and so far have raised over £20,000 in just 1 year. They have been so creative with activities ranging from the 450-mile challenge to non-uniform days. It's really touching to see how they have flourished and to see them experiencing the real feel-good factor of making a difference with their fundraising.
We do feel privileged to be hosting this year's Light Up a Life event, which is intended to reach people far and wide across Bury. As head teachers representing Bury Grammar School, we recognise the importance of the role that Bury Hospice plays in our local community, as this is where our staff, pupils and families mainly reside.
Bury Grammar is committed to supporting its wider community, and this is demonstrated through our partnership with Bury Hospice, We will continue to support Bury Hospice whenever we can, whether this is through fundraising or connecting through projects focusing on the great work they undertake in end-of-life care and support, and urge others to do the same. As a charity, the hospice rely on the support of their community, especially at this moment.
It really is a privilege to work with Bury Hospice, and we're so proud of all our pupils and families that have been working hard with this partnership. So a big heartfelt thank you from us for supporting this event and for all your support with everything that we are aiming to do.
As we near the end of our Light Up a Life service, we thank you all for joining us. A final thanks to everyone involved in this event, and a special thank you to Pixel Wave Creative, who have filmed and produced this service at no cost to the hospice. They have done a brilliant job and have enabled us to connect with our communities in a completely different way this year. If you wish to be part of next year's event and are not on the mailing list for the Light Up a Life information, please contact our fundraising office and they will add your details. Hopefully next year we can return to a service where we can all be together, sharing the experience in person. It now just remains for me to remind everyone that we are here for you and to thank you for being here for us. Take care, and we wish you all the best for the festive season.